May the words of my mouth and the meditations of all our hearts be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, our rock and our Redeemer. Please be seated. Like many of the Sundays right now in ordinary time, our readings don't particularly go together, and a result of that is that it's much harder to decide what to preach on. There's some really good options here. Often, when this reading from Mark comes up, I've preached on take up your cross and follow me. And in this parish at this time, that would make a lot of sense, because that's what we're looking at. That's what renewal is, well, we've got to put aside who we've been. Deny yourself. Take up Christ's cross. Look for who we're called to be and follow. And then we have our reading from James, which is fairly harsh, but it's also very, very true about the tongue and how much damage we can cause by what we say. In a lot of ways, beating somebody is less damaging than what we can do with our tongue. And what we can do to this parish and to this congregation with our tongues is just as damaging. We have to be very, very careful about what we say and how we say it. And that what we are saying is not about us, but is about where God is calling us to be. And then we have our first two readings, which very much go together, from Proverbs and from Wisdom. And these, I think, are incredibly important, because they remind us that until Christianity became the religion of state in around 400, when Constantine said, "This is my religion and this is what everybody will do," there was a definite understanding of God being feminine as well as masculine. But when it became the religion of state, it got taken over by the men in power. And we've kind of minimized this understanding of wisdom being feminine, that this is the female aspect of God. One of the cartoons on the back of your bulletin speaks to this. This is hard stuff. Jesus is threatening to be ashamed of us. It is a hard word, maybe even impossible. Just remember that grace always has the final say. I just hope she puts in a good word for me. We need to be doing that. We need to be bringing out the female aspect of God. I'm not sure grace is feminine, but it does speak to that. And our reading from Wisdom absolutely speaks to that, about how without wisdom, without this feminine aspect of God, everything else kind of falls apart. And when we look at our gospel, we see that happening. Peter is acting without wisdom. He has knowledge, but he doesn't have wisdom. And the result is, get behind me, Satan. And this is something Jesus is saying to the person who he said is going to lead the church. He's going to build the church. Upon you, my church will be built. The leader of the disciples. Without wisdom, we can't discern the will of God. Earlier this week, I was reading a post on Facebook that was talking about one of the things that most girls go through a phase of, which is looking at witchcraft as something interesting. Whether they get tarot cards or get a spell book or just read a whole bunch of books about witchcraft or are just fascinated with it. And it was speculating about why this is. Why do so many girls go through this phase of witchcraft? And the conclusion that they came to, and I think it may very well be right, is that very little in this world gives power to women that doesn't come from men. And witchcraft is one of those things. If we in the church were to actually talk about wisdom this way, actually regularly refer to God in the feminine, maybe we could be a different source. This is a power that comes from God, which doesn't come from men, but everybody needs. When we only refer to God as masculine, we are making God in an image of our culture. An image of our culture that isn't helpful, either to us as Christians or to the greater community. Because it defines us as a people that's not including everyone. And one of the primary things that Christ taught is that inclusiveness, particularly of those that aren't regularly included. Whether they're not included because of something that's happened in their life that's left them with nothing, or because of an illness that they have no control over, because of who their parents are, because of what country they came from, because of who they worship, or the fact that they don't worship anybody at all. Those are the ones that we are called as Christians to go out and meet with, to sit down with, to share food. The ones who don't fit. And say, well, you know what? You actually do fit. Because we are all made in the image of God. Not the image I put on God, but the image that God puts on us. And to do that, we have to accept that any image we put on God is not complete. And we have to be talking about all of the different ways that God shows him or herself to us. And so, just remember that grace has the final word. And hope and pray that she puts in a good word for you.